We appreciate you joining us here on America's Retirement Headquarters, home of the Retirement Guys Formula and America's Medicare Associates. 419-794-3030 is the phone number, and the website is arhq.com. Ever since 2020, the passing of Secure Act 1, that change in federal law, interest in making annuities available in employer retirement plans has grown significantly. A new study found that most felt adding a guaranteed income component would ease their concern of running out of money in retirement, the number one concern among pre-retirees. But let's talk about what people can do if an employer's 401k hasn't included this option yet. Is there anything that can be done to help?
Well, I mean, you can definitely see the trend continues to be people want to have, income for life. And so when you have some type of guaranteed income for life, be it an annuity, that's an important feature, I think, for a lot of people as the, trend continues to move away from traditional pension plans to 401ks. The first thing I would say is, you have to look at what the word guarantee means. So guarantees when you're looking at insurance products are based upon the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. You understand and make sure that you understand the rating of the insurance company, the financial health of the company, and if that company defaults, what the backing is, because you have guarantees like Social Security is another example of a government guarantee. But even the government saying that they're not going to be able to provide that guarantee for a lot of people in 10 years because the trust fund's going to be exhausted. So picking a financially sound company in place. But back to the question here, talking about what if your employer hasn't yet included an option like that in the plan, and you're wondering, how do I get guaranteed income? It probably becomes more important, I'd say, the closer you get to retirement time, right? So a young person's probably not too worried about guaranteed income. They're worried about saving, building, and accumulating and getting started. But as you get closer to retirement time, there's a strategy. It's called a 59 and a half. It's an in-service withdrawal feature. So a lot of times people, what they don't realize is if your 401k hasn't kept up with the recent law changes and you're over 59 and a half, you may be eligible to take a 59 and a half in-service withdrawal while you're working. Then that allows you to take that money and you can move it over to a self-directed IRA. Within that self-directed IRA, you can choose vehicles that provide more predictable income, vehicles that are backed by insurance companies that are designed to provide income for the rest of your lifetime or income for joint lifetime. You can do that. The other thing that you can do is we've got a couple segments. So if you're a younger worker and we go back in time, we're kind of in that generation that is right when the pension started to go away and the shift has gone to now 401ks. And I think, for a lot of younger workers, they're many times in that mode of, I better save in my 401k. I should maximize my 401k. And I think I'm never going to tell somebody not to save for the future, but is maximizing your 401k the most effective way? And oftentimes it may not be. What you could consider doing is redirecting some of those contributions over and above your company match. There's ways that you can put things in money like annuities in this example. You could use index universal life insurance. You can use vehicles that are designed to provide more predictable income and build that up to complement your 401k. So if you feel that your 401k is limited, there are a lot of different choices. I don't know about you, Chaz, but when you're talking with people and you're looking at their 401k, are you finding that people are frustrated? They're looking for, more predictable income or more choices with their 401k?
Yeah, I think so. I think it all comes down, like we talked about before, of having more control or maintaining control or taking back control of your retirement. And certainly having more reliable income does provide an additional measure of control because it reduces the risk of the return of the sequence of returns risk. So it reduces the sequence of returns risk that you face by having to take withdrawals during very volatile market times. It's kind of staggering though. Whenever you see 68 to 70% of people responding affirmatively to anything at once, I think it's something that you should definitely take note of. And annuities at times have been vilified. Sometimes we joke around that they're a dirty word. They do certainly have their faults, but certainly some significant advantages that annuities have are again providing lifetime income. It is an additional reliable, predictable source of income that clients cannot outlive. And in many respects, depending on the type of annuity, it can effectively reduce the volatility and the risk of the principal fluctuation risk on that particular part of money effectively to zero. So it does have a lot of advantages. There certainly are some disadvantages, limited liquidity, limited growth potential. But either way, Nolan, I do think this might be a trend that we see coming into fruition in the next couple of years. It's just difficult to see because the 401k industry is very closed. It's one of the downsides. It's not transparent. You have a limited number of resources that you can choose from, and generally the resources and the investments that you have access to have not been chosen by you. They've been chosen by maybe the plan administrator or the company to kind of solve the needs of the group. And so, to your point, by doing, in some cases, a 59.5 rollover where we take a portion of your money and start to develop that financial plan and build it out for you, I think that can have a significant advantage in terms of understanding the plan, what the dollars are for, putting in place the protections, and then the costs. We have to disclose to you what things cost up front. We disclose it prominently and we sign it. But in some industries, like the 401k, it's hard to get an idea of what you actually are paying for. So consulting with an advisor at the Retirement Guys here, we can help you determine if an annuity makes sense. Give us a call, text us, and let us know how we can help if you have questions about your 401k.
One thing I'll add to that, I'm the elder statesman here on the panel, and the one thing that I want to make sure that people understand with this, because I didn't have any idea about this stuff. Shame on me, but I had no idea until I sat with you, Chaz, on a show. Nolan, you were unfortunately out of town for us to experience all of this, but you made this comment, and then after the show, I came up to you and I talked to you. I said, wait a minute, what are you talking about here? So we went through this, and to me, this is phenomenal because what it does is it gives you the control and the power. And like you said, Nolan, it allows you to set up that focus on that guaranteed income stream outside of the 401k. Like you said, I would never tell anybody not to put money into a 401k. So I look at Troy, my son, he's 21 years old. He started working for us here and he's starting to invest. He needs to put as much money as he can into his investments of some sort. But what I also like is what you said, Nolan, is redirecting contributions over and above. If you can be disciplined to do that, I think that is phenomenal. Take what your employer is going to give you. It's free money.
Right.
Take that money. But then sit down with an advisor. I think the important thing to know here is make sure that you have an advisor that can help explain all of these things to you. You can actually set up an account, if I'm not talking out of church here, but you can set up where you contribute on your own outside of a 401k on a monthly basis, just like coming out of your paycheck, right?
Correct.
I mean, you can set that all up. So take advantage of what your employer is going to give you. It's free money. If you want some flexibility and to move forward and generate some sort of a guaranteed income stream when it does come time for a retirement, take control of your money and invest outside of the 401k. I think it's great.
Yeah, or if Social Security, reduces, you've got this additional income source there for you.
Yeah, you still want to take advantage of putting into that 401k and participate, but you can also take that withdrawal out at 59.5 and lump sum and invest that elsewhere.
Any money saved towards your retirement obviously is a good thing, but if there was a smarter way to go about it, I think anyone would be, it would be of value to them to take a look at that. It's a conversation certainly worth having, and one the team at America's Retirement Headquarters can have with you, be willing to have with you gladly. Just give a call, 419-794-3030, or you can schedule a time to speak with them as well on the website, arhq.com.